So, hello and welcome everyone to this recording of the solutions for the AIIMS and MPL physics paper that has been done in the last week. Okay, so let's continue with the solution. So, let me start with question number 1. A 6 kg mass collides with a body at rest. After the collision, they travel together with a velocity 1/3 of the velocity of the 6 kg mass. Okay, so what has been given? A 6 kg mass was moving with a certain velocity u and another body was at rest. Let's say its mass is m, right? And after collision, what happens? Both these bodies, that is 6 plus m, they start moving with a velocity v, which is u by 3, right? So obviously momentum conservation will happen, and momentum conservation says 6 into u plus m into 0, because it is at rest, must be equal to 6 plus m. They are moving together with velocity u by 3. So obviously you will say, sir, 6u is equals to u by 3 into 6 plus m, right? So how much will this become? See, u and u will get cancelled. So 18 is equals to 6 plus m. So finally m is 12 kg. Which option is correct? Third option is correct. Got it? Okay, next is a ball is thrown vertically downward with a velocity. Okay, so let's say in this question they are mentioning a ball is thrown vertically downward. U is minus 20 meter per second. It hits the ground with a velocity minus 80 meter per second. And what is the displacement? You will say, sir, displacement, since this is the initial position, this is the final position, so displacement is downward, that is why it will be negative. So let's say it is minus of h, right? That is, and they are asking us to find out h. Simple question, very simple solution. You will say, sir, v square is equals to u square plus 2a delta y. Now listen to me very carefully. V square minus u square is equals to 2a delta y. Now put all the values very carefully. What is v? V is minus 80 whole square. Doesn't matter because it's gonna be square, so minus 80 plus 80. But you need to be very much honest in your answer, okay? Whatever you're writing, you must be honest. A is what? Minus g, that is minus 10 into minus h. Proper signs we will put. So it will be 6400 minus 400 is equals to 20 into h, right? So it will be 6000 by 20. I suppose it is 300 meters, right? So third option must be correct. Got it? Now, along a streamline, the velocity of all fluid particles crossing a given see, in streamline motion, what happens? Suppose it's a streamline motion. Suppose here the particle has velocity 2 meter per second, and when this particle reaches here, its velocity is 3 meter per second, and when this particle reaches here, its velocity is 4 meter per second. Let's say these are point A, point B, and point C. So whenever a particle comes, when it comes to A, it will definitely have velocity 2 meter per second. When the same particle goes to B, again it will have 3 meter per second only. And when it goes to C, it will have 4 meter per second. That means the value of the velocities at different points is constant. So whenever molecules reach those points, they acquire those constant velocities. Are you understanding this? So second option must be the correct one. The magnitude of the force developed by raising the temperature. So this is a question of thermal stress. So what they have done, they have taken a rod and they have fixed the rod between the walls. Okay, now since they have fixed the rod between the walls, so the length of the rod is constant, right? The length of the rod is what? Constant. Okay, so if you try to increase its temperature, then what will happen? The length of the rod will try to increase, but these walls will not let that happen, because of which stress will be developed. So we know that already. What is thermal stress? Thermal stress is force per unit area. It is equals to alpha into y into delta theta into delta L by L. Do you understand? Sorry, y alpha delta theta, not delta L by L. oh sorry, y alpha delta theta. This is thermal stress. Okay, y alpha delta theta. So we will simply say that the force is equals to alpha y a delta theta. Now let's put the values. What is alpha? 10 to the power minus 5. What is y? 10 to the power 11. What is area? 10 to the power minus 4, because it is centimeter square, into delta theta, that is change in temperature, is 100. So I suppose it will be 10 to the power 4 Newton. Second option, right? Remember this formula, y by a, that is thermal stress, is always alpha y delta theta. Okay, see, the reason is, let me explain. See, thermal strain is equals to alpha delta theta, and strain is equals to stress upon Young's modulus is equals to alpha delta theta. That is why thermal stress is y alpha delta theta, and the force that is developed is y a alpha delta theta. Delta theta is change in temperature. So I suppose you have understood this concept now, right? Question number 5. Now see, in question number 5, students, the diameter is given to us. D1 is given 4.23 plus minus 0.01 centimeter, right? So let's take out what is R1. So R1 will be 4.23 by 2 plus minus 0.01 centimeter. Okay, it will not change, remember. Okay, similarly R2 will be 3.89 by 2 plus minus 0.01 centimeter. This error will not change. Now what you want is thickness. Thickness is R2 minus, sorry, R1 minus R2. Thickness is R1 minus R2. So it will be 4.23 minus 3.89 by 2, and errors are always added, remember. So delta R1 plus delta R2, simply that should not be subtracted, that is always added. So this is how much? 4.23 minus 3.89 by 2 is 0.17 plus 0.01 plus 0.01. So your final answer will be 0.17 plus minus 0.02 centimeter, right? Second option is correct. Okay, though third is given, but second is correct. Now this is a question based on the concept of what do you say, it is this equation lambda t is equals to constant. This is known as Wien's displacement law, right? So when lambda naught, initial wavelength is lambda naught, then at temperature T1, and when the wavelength becomes 3/4 lambda naught, let's say temperature becomes T2, at which maximum intensity is obtained, right, or maximum power is radiated. Now we know that P is directly proportional to T to the power 4. So technically P1 by P2 is T1 by T2 to the power 4, that is 3/4 to the power 4, that is 81 by 256. So what is P2? It is 256 upon 81 into P1, right? What is P1? That is P. So what is the correct answer? Third option is right. Got it? This is known as Wien's displacement law. I hope you must remember this, that as we increase the temperature, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity, this is T1, this is T2. So T2 is greater than T1. So the wavelength which is corresponding to the maximum intensity is lambda naught. Right now the wavelength corresponding to maximum intensity will be less than this. This is Wien's displacement law. You must have studied about this, okay? Now, seventh question, it says that two rods A and B of same length and same radius are joined together end to end. Okay, so two rods are here given to us. They have same length and same radius. See, Do you remember what is the delta q by delta t is what? Delta q by delta t is Ka by L into delta theta. So you say this is your thermal current, okay? This is your thermal potential difference and this is your thermal resistance. So technically your thermal resistance is L by AK. Got it? Right? Now you can relate that this is R1, this is R2. Here temperature is theta 1, that is I guess difference is given 36 degrees Celsius na. So let's say this is 36 degrees Celsius and this is, let's say, 0 degrees Celsius, right? Let's say. So what they want is the temperature across this rod. That means potential drop across first rod. So you can clearly compare it with electrical analogy. And you will say, sir, this is V, this is V1, this is 0. So what is V1 minus V? See, the current will remain same, right? So you will say, so the drop here is V1 minus V is equals to I into R1. And V1 minus 0 is I into overall resistance R1 plus R2. So what you do? You will say V1 minus V, that is potential drop across this rod, upon overall potential difference is equals to R1 upon R1 plus R2. So this is what we want. Potential difference across here, that is V1 minus V. Right? So what is R1? You will say, sir, L by A into 2K upon L by A into 2K plus, I suppose the screen is not visible. What should I do? Okay, I hope you must have copied up till this point. So I'll rub this again. I'll rub the screen and rewrite it again. Okay, so that you can understand. So what will you do? Finally, you will say V1 minus V upon, what is this? 36 is equals to R1, that is L by A into 2K, right? Upon L by A into 2K plus L by AK. So it will become 1 by 2 upon 1 by 2 plus 1, that is 1 by 3. Okay, so V1 minus V that we want is 36 by 3, that is 12 degree centigrade. First option must be correct. Got it? Now the work done in moving, it's simple. Work done is vector F dot vector delta R, right? So it is 2I cap minus J cap minus K cap dot 3I cap plus 2J cap minus 5K cap. That's all. Do the dot product, get the answer. What is this? 2 3s are 6 minus 2 plus 5, that is 9 joules or 9 units, right? Now raindrops are falling vertically at 4 km/h. Okay, this is the velocity of the rain. Okay, and a person is moving forward at speed. Okay, this is the velocity of the man, right? Okay, so what is the velocity of rain with respect to man? You will say velocity of rain with respect to man is a simple concept. Velocity of rain minus velocity of man. So what is velocity of rain? It is 4 times minus J cap minus velocity of man is 3 times I cap. So it is minus 3 I cap minus 4 J cap. So what is the magnitude? It will be 3 square plus, so it will be 3 square plus 4 square under root, that is 5 kmph. Got it? Simple question. Now this is very simple. They are asking, see, what is R1? A vector R1 is vector A plus vector B. What is vector R2? It is vector A minus vector B. And if you say R1 square, So it will be a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. And what is r2 square? You will say, sir, a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta, right? And if you want to add them, r1 square plus r2 square, obviously it will be 2 times a square plus b square. This will get cancelled, right? So we got the right answer. Now this is a very interesting question, the velocity. See, whatever the energy is stored in the rubber catapult will be delivered in the form of kinetic energy to the stone. So what we will say, that the potential energy stored must be equal to the kinetic energy given to the stone, right? Now what is the potential energy? Half into force into displacement, right, is equals to half into m into v square. Simple, cancelled. So what is v? V square is what? F by m into delta L. Now very simple, you tell me, what is F? F is y into area into delta L by L upon m into delta L. See, stress into area into strain is force into change in length upon mass. Okay, now put the values. What is area? 25 millimeter square. Delta L is 5 centimeter. Mass is 5 grams. Length is 10 centimeter. Okay, I hope we can solve it. 5 and 5 gets cancelled. 10 to the power minus 2 and 10 to the power minus 2 gets cancelled. So it becomes, now 10 to the power minus 3 and this gets cancelled and becomes 10 to the power minus 3, right? And becomes 10 to the power minus 3. So 10 to the power minus 6, 8, 14. Wait a second. So it will be 25 into 25 into 10 to the power 8 into 10 to the power minus 6. That is 25 square into 10 square. So what is V? V will be 250 meter per second. Got it? Now here they have given the data, a capillary tube. Okay, what is the formula for height of a capillary tube? 2t cos theta by r rho g. Simply put the values, and everything is given in CGS system in this question. Can you see that? So just put the values. What you will get, 2 into 72 into cos 0 is 1. Radius is 1 by 4 millimeter. We need to convert it into centimeter. 1 by 40 centimeter into density is given. Water density is 1 gram per centimeter cube. What is G? 100 centimeter per second square. You put every value, it will be 57.5 something centimeter. Now this height h is coming greater than the length of the capillary tube. That means capillary tube will be completely filled, and after that the liquid will not fall exactly, but will change its curvature and try to stop it from falling. But after a certain limit, eventually it comes down, but it tries to stop it as much as possible. It doesn't come down, right? So 50 is a right. Okay, so question number 13. Aeroplane is flying horizontally at a height of 490 meters. Okay, at a height of 490 meters. What is flying this aeroplane? With what velocity? 150 meters per second. Okay, 150 meter per second. So here the Jawans are standing, our soldiers are standing on ground, and they need to receive this. So obviously we need to ensure that we drop the baggage, okay, or a bag containing the food at a distance of horizontal distance of range. Okay, horizontal distance equivalent to range. So we know the formula. So if we drop it from here right now, then only it will receive, it will be received by the soldiers. Are you getting it? So we need to ensure that we drop at this particular distance. Now very simple. What is the formula of range? You will say, sir, it is horizontal velocity into time of flight. Now what is horizontal velocity? U, what is time of flight? Root over 2h by g. Just apply every value. It is 150 into root over 490. If it is 490, then take g as 9.8. Right, so 9.8 ones are 9.8 50s are, so r will be 1500 meters. Got it? Simple pendulum of length 1 meter has a bob of mass 100 k. Okay, fine. It is displaced through an angle of 60 degrees. How much it is displaced? 60 degrees. And then released kinetic energy of the bob when it passes the mean position. Very simple. When it passes here, complete potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. We just need to figure out what is this potential energy here, right? So what is height? So see, this is what r minus h, okay, and this is what r. So can you say that cos 60 degrees is equals to base upon hypotenuse? What is cos 60? 1 by 2. It is 1 minus h by r. So you will say, sir, so whatever is the potential energy here will be converted into kinetic energy here. So you will say potential energy must be equal to kinetic energy here. So potential energy is mgh, which is what? mgr by 2. That's all. So r is the length of the pendulum. So it is given 1 meter. So it is 1100 grams divided by 1000, converted into kg. This is 10, this is 1, this is 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 cancelled. Answer is 0.5 joules. Got it? Now here, this is an interesting question. 3 rods made of the same material. 3 rods are made up of the same material. That means K, K and K. And all 3 rods are identical. That means all they have same resistance also. So thermal resistance of every rod is L by AK, which is same. So it is technically nothing, but if you compare with electrical circuit, it will be somewhat like this: R, R and R. Okay, so this is theta 1, this is theta 2, and this is theta 3, and this is theta. Now whatever current is coming here is I1, whatever current is coming here is I2, and whatever current going here is I3, obviously. So you can use Kirchhoff's junction law here and can say that I1 plus I2 is equals to I3. So what is I1? Temperature difference upon resistance. See, current is what? Potential difference upon resistance, right? So theta 1 minus theta by R plus theta 2 minus theta by R is equals to theta minus theta 3 by R. Cancelled. What is theta 1? 90 minus theta by R 2 times is equals to theta minus 0 by R. R and R will get cancelled. So it will become 180 is equals to 3 theta. So theta is equals to 60 degrees. Got it? Now A ball is projected obliquely. Okay, obliquely, we don't know at what angle. Let's say theta, and it covers a range, certain range, 245 meters. So you will say, sir, range is u square sine square theta, sorry, u square sine 2 theta by g is the formula for range, and it is given 245 meters, right? Okay, what is u? 49 whole square into sine 2 theta upon g is 9.8 is equals to 245. Now see, 49 into 49 upon 9.8 into sine of 2 theta is equals to 245. 9.8 ones are 5s are 5 ones are 549s are 49, 49. Everything gets cancelled out here, and you will say, sir, sine 2 theta is 1, 2 theta is 90 degrees, theta is 45 degrees. Now you will say, what is range? Range is horizontal speed into time of flight. So what is time of flight? Range upon horizontal speed. 245 upon 49 sine of 45 degrees. Now see, 49 ones are 49 fives are 5 root 2 seconds is the right answer. Do you understand? So such a simple case. So see, students, these questions are really easy if you know the concepts very well. See, these are not difficult questions, but you need to know all the formulae, and you need to know the concept behind the formulae that you are using in the solution. Okay, is it clear? Now let's look up to question number 17. In a hydel power project, 2000 kg of water passes. See, so they have given dm by dt. This is how much? 2000 kg per second. Now, when this water, let's say dm amount of water, comes and falls on the ground and rotates the turbine. Okay, so what is the energy that it is having? You will say it's a dE. It is what? dmgh. So what is the power that is delivered? dE by dt. That is dm by dt into g into h. How much is this? 2000 into 10 into 240, which is 48, okay, into 1 2 3 4 5 watts. Okay, so you will say, sir, power input that has been given is 4.8 megawatts. Power output that you are withdrawing from the turbine is 3.6 megawatts. So what is your efficiency? Input upon output, 3.6 upon 4.8, that is 3 by 4 into 100 percentage. So efficiency will come out to be 75 percentage. Do you understand? This is easy, right? Now, oh, this is very simple. Now they are saying that suppose dimensional formulae of are used force, velocity and time only. So we have to express mass in terms of these three dimension, these three fundamental quantities. So you will say, okay, how can we relate mass, velocity and force? We say that work is equal to kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy. Work is force into displacement. Displacement is velocity into time. Let me write it properly so that you can understand. Otherwise you will skip this. Part. Okay. It is what? Force into displacement is equals to half mv square. So what is force into displacement is what? Velocity into time is mass into velocity square. So what is mass? It is force into velocity into time upon v square. that is F1 V minus 1 T1. Got it? This you just have to put and get the answer, students. VRMS, what is the formula? Root over 3RT by M naught. Okay, so VRMS is 1918 is equals to 3 into 8.314 into 300 Kelvin square upon M naught. Now don't forget that M naught should be in kg, but you want answer in grams. So if you want to convert this kg into grams, so by 1000, and now this mass will be in grams. Got it? So mass in grams will become 9 into 8.314 into 10 to the power 5 upon 1918 into, after solving you will get it 2 grams. That means it is hydrogen. Got it? Now this is a very wonderful question. Here they are saying a body is allowed to fall from a height h. Okay, finally here it has total potential energy mgh and kinetic energy is 0. Here it has potential energy 0 and complete kinetic energy mgh. Okay, what is the total energy all the time? So you will say at any point potential energy plus kinetic energy, this will be mgh, total energy, right? So these things are for sure. So potential energy plus kinetic energy is constant all the time. So D is second option. For option D, you need to connect it with second option of the list 2. Now first, potential energy and kinetic energy are same, obviously at midpoint. When height is h by 2, they are same, right? So this is first. So can you see that any option having A and D as 1 and 2? A and D as 1 and 2. Okay, first option is matching. Wrong, wrong. Fourth option also matching. So out of first and fourth, one of the options is right. Now we have to just check for either B or C, anyone. So let's check for B. Let's say they are saying that at a height, let's say at a height y from ground, at a height y from ground, the potential energy is equals to 2 times kinetic energy. What is potential energy right now? You will say, sir, mg into h minus y. Y is the distance it has dropped, right? So what is the height from the ground? It is h minus y. Acha, they want height from the ground only. So let's wait. Let's not use y as the variable. Let's use let me select. Just wait a second. Because we want height from the ground itself, na. So let's say like this. When the object is at a height y from ground, right? So what is potential energy? mgy. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is total energy minus potential energy. Am I correct? Yes. So you will say, sir, mg into y is equals to 2 into total energy is mgh minus mg into y. Now mg gets cancelled. So it will be y by 2 is equals to h minus y. So finally you will say 3y by 2 is equals to h. Y is equals to 2 by 3h. That means at a height 2 by 3. So third option is matching here. So 1, 3, 4, 2. So 1, 3, 4, 2. First option is correct. Right? Remember this thing. This is the key concept here that you need to use. is, what is kinetic energy? Total energy minus potential. So here you don't have to use the formula of half mv square for kinetic energy. Don't use this formula. Say kinetic energy is nothing but total energy minus potential energy. You can use this logic. In fact, you have to use this logic, because with half mv square you will not work out. Okay, the things will not work out. You will not land up with right answer. Okay, so let's move quickly ahead and do this question 21. So question number 21. There is no change. Oh, that I have already told you in my YouTube lecture also, that whenever the Poisson's ratio of the material, and in the class as well, the Poisson's ratio of the material of the wire is, so whenever Poisson's ratio is plus 0.5, then delta V by V becomes 0. That means no change in volume of a wire. Remember this thing, okay? Remember this thing. Okay, so let's do question number 22. Here, students, it's a very simple concept. We know that already power is directly proportional to T to the power 4 and inversely proportional to area. So we can say it is very simple. That means it is 1 by 4 pi d square. So we can say power is directly proportional to temperature to the power 4 upon distance to the power 2, right? So we can say P1 by P2 is nothing but T1 by T2 whole to the power 4 into D2 by D1 whole to the power 2, right? Now what is T1? So they are saying that temperature is doubled. Okay, so 1 by 2 whole to the power 4. And the distance is halved. Okay, that is again 1 by 2 to the power 2. That is 1 by 2 to the power 6. It is 1 by 64. So P2 will be 64 times P1. I guess first option is right. Okay. Now, 23rd, the surface tension of the liquid is given. Surface tension is given 5 Newton per meter. What is area? It is 2 into 0.02 meter square. Now you will ask, sir, why have you done 2 into 0.02? Because it is a thin film. I told you this in the class. It's a thin film. That is why area is double. Okay. Now what is surface energy? Everybody knows surface tension into area. So 5 into 2 into 0.02. That is how much? 10 into 0.02, it is 0.2 joules. Got it? That is 2 into 10 to the power minus 1 joules. Boyle's law is applicable for a real gas. A real gas only when it behaves like an ideal gas. And when does a real gas behaves like ideal gas? At high temperature and low pressure. The process should be isothermal. The process should be very slow. Okay. And the conductor and the vessel in which the gas is kept should be a very good conductor. Why? Because it need to maintain the constant temperature all the time. That means it need to conduct the heat quickly, right? So these three things are, and the mass of the gas obviously is constant because it will be applicable for a closed system, right? So I guess it is, the mass of the gas is constant. A, B, C, D, all are correct. A, B, C and D. Now this is a very simple question. Okay, force is given. What is the magnitude of force? 6 is square plus 8 is square plus 10 is square under root. It is 10 root 2 Newton. What is mass into acceleration is force. So what is mass? Force upon acceleration. So it is 5 root 2 kg. Got it? This is also a very simple question. Draw the FBD and get the right answer. This is M2G. This is T. This is T. This is F. This is M1. Obviously, this will go down with, both will go down with same acceleration, right? So you can say, sir, M2G minus T is equals to M2A. T minus F is what? M2G by 2 is equals to M1A. Add both these equations, get the value of acceleration. That is second option, right? Now here obviously you will say 2 mu n is equals to mg. right? N is how much? 50 Newton. So 2 into 50 is 100 into mu is equals to 20. So mu is equals to 0. Got it? Steel ball is released from the height C. Remember I told you that when an object comes down, it collides with an object with a speed u. So it will return back with speed v, that is eu, if it is colliding with ground or a very heavy object which is immovable, right? Technically, now it is coming, now see, it is coming from a height, let's say h1, and going back to a height, let's say h2. So what is u? U is root 2 g h1, right? And what is v? You will say, sir, v is root 2 g h2. Am I correct? So simple, you will say, sir, v by u is e. So e is equals to root 2 g h2 upon root 2 g h1, that is root over h2 by h1. So that is 3 by 27 under root, that is 1 by 9 under root, that is 1 by 3. Fourth option is correct. Got it? So when a car of mass, oh my god, 1200 kg is moving with a velocity 15 meter per second, right? On a rough horizontal road. Okay, its engine is switched off. Okay, fine. So what will happen? Completely kinetic friction will work and will try to stop the car. Final velocity will be 0. Right? So you will say, sir, Fk will provide the retardation. Now what is Fk? Mu mg is equals to ma. So what is the retardation? Mu g. Now very simply you will say, sir, v square is equals to u square plus 2ax. So v is 0, u is 15 whole square plus 2 into minus mu g. Why? Because it is opposite to the velocity. It is moving in this direction. Okay, minus mu is 0.5, g is 10. So into what is x? X is, we need to figure out, right? Right? So you will say x is nothing but 15 square by 10. Mu into g. So it is 15 square is 225 by 10. So answer is 22.5 meters. I hope you understood this thing. Yes. This everybody knows. Only positive is Kelvin because Fahrenheit is negative, Celsius is negative, Reaumur is also negative, Kelvin is always positive. Okay. Now this is a very good question. A monoatomic ideal gas, monoatomic, so degree of freedom is 3, remember, is supplied the heat Q very slowly, keeping the pressure constant. That means if pressure is constant, Q is NCP delta T, right? The work done by the gas will be, okay, very simple. Work done by the gas when the pressure is constant is nr delta T. Remember this thing, okay? Now let's come quickly. What is Cp? Cp is F by 2 plus 1 into R. So 3 by 2 plus 1 into R, that is 5 by 2 R. So you will say, sir, Q is N into 5 by 2 R delta T. It is technically 5 by 2 N R delta T. So it is technically 5 by 2 times work done. So work done will be 2 by 5 times heat. Is it okay? It's just like that. You have to remember these formulae. What is the value of, what is the formula for Cp, Cv, gamma, and what is the degree of freedom for monatomic gas, diatomic gas, triatomic gas? These questions are, these concepts are really important, right? In NEET, these are generally asked. Let's say the bullet, when it enters here, faces a constant retardation A. With velocity v, it enters and it travels x1 distance and then it travels x2 distance before it completely stops. Here its velocity becomes v by 2. So first we will apply it to this journey. Okay. So we will say v by 2 whole square is equals to v square minus why? Because it is in opposite direction. Okay. into x1. So it will become v square by 4 is equals to v square minus 2ax1. So 2ax1 is 3v square by 4. Now we will apply the same equation for this journey here to here. So you will say, sir, 0 square is equals to v by 2 whole square minus 2ax2, same retardation. So 2ax2 is equals to v square by 4. Now let's say this was equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So if you take the ratio, you will say, sir, x2 by x1 is coming out to be 1 by 3, right? So what is x2? x1 by 3, that is 15 by 3. So x2 is 5 centimeter. First option is correct. Got it? Oh, brilliant. A pendulum clock gives correct time at 20 degrees centigrade at a place where g is 10 meter per second square. Okay, what is the formula for time period? 2 pi root over L by g. So if it is taken to a different place where g changes, so at what temperature the pendulum gives correct time? Again, the time is correct. So length will change, g will change. Well, the time is correct. So you will say L by g must be equal to L dash by g dash. Now you tell me, what is L dash? L into 1 plus alpha delta theta, because T here means time period. So I will say theta means temperature, right? Delta theta upon g dash. So this will get cancelled. So you will say, sir, g dash by g is equals to 1 plus alpha delta theta. So it will be g dash by g minus 1 is equals to alpha delta theta. Right? I hope you can solve it from here. So g dash is 10.01. So 0.01 upon 10 is equals to 10 to the power minus 5 into theta minus 20. Initial temperature is 20. So how much will this be? It will be 10 to the power 2 is equals to theta minus 20. So theta will be 120 degree centigrade. I suppose fourth option is correct. Right? This is how you need to solve. Now this is a good question. A point mass of 1 kg collides elastically. Elastically means E is equals to 1. A point mass of mass 1 kg, that means M1 is 1 kg with a stationary mass M2 is 5 kg. So they have they given U1? No. Have they given U2? Yes. Have they given V1? Yes. Have they given V2? No. Have they given M1? Yes. Have they given M2? Yes. Have they given E? Yes. So these informations are given and these are not given. So U1 and V2 are not given, everything else is given. Now they are asking for total momentum, total kinetic energy and velocity of 5 kg after collision. Okay. See, total kinetic energy will remain conserved because it is an elastic collision. So first of all, you can here directly say here that total kinetic energy will be half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square is equals to kinetic energy. Now u2 is 0, so it is technically half into 1 into u1 square, but u1 is given? No. See student, what we can do is, there is one brilliant way. You use the data that is given here and try to figure out. So let's say that 4.5 is the right answer, total kinetic, and if you put 4.5 here, you will get some value of u1, right? Then that value you can use to find out the first and third option also. That means whether the momentum is 3 kg meter per second or not, and whether the final velocity of 5 kg is 1 meter per second or not. If suppose it matches, that means all three options are correct, which is the highest probability. Still, see, if you see other options, 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 3 are correct. 2 and 3 are correct. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a very nice question. Very nice question. So he's not even giving you some any jugaad to use. So let's see what we can do in this question. So we have two things to use. Okay, we have two things to use. Number one is this momentum conservation, right? What is momentum conservation? Momentum conservation is m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, right? Use this equation. So 1 into u1 plus 0 is equals to 1 into v1 plus 5 into v2. So it is u1 is equals to minus 2 plus 5v2. Okay, this is equation number 1. Now another equation will be E is equals to v2 minus v1 upon u1 minus u2. So E is given 1, right? So you put the values. 1 is equals to, what is v2? No, do not know. Minus 2 upon u1 minus 0. So you will say u1 is equals to v2 plus 2. This is your second equation. Now when you solve these equations, students, you get finally u1 as 3 meter per second and v2 as 1 meter per second. And when you put all these three options are correct, when you put these values, because there is not enough space, that's why I'm not writing anything else, but I definitely have confidence that after solving these two equations, definitely you will get these two answers. Okay, so this is how this question is solved. This is a good question, right? Now this is very simple. They are saying there is a vector A which is added to these two vectors I cap minus 3j cap plus 2k cap plus 3i cap plus 6j cap minus 7k cap is equals to a unit vector along y-axis, that means j cap. I hope you can solve it now and get the value of vector A. Okay, there is no concept here, that is why I'm not explaining anything else. So this also we know that delta x is equals to a to the power half, b to the power 2, c to the power minus 3, but when it comes to errors, so it becomes, power becomes coefficient, delta a by a plus 2 times delta b by b plus 3 times, do not go to the negative sign, always the errors are always added, delta c by c into 100 percentage. Solve it, 7% will be the right answer. Okay, okay students, now let's come to question number 30. Okay, so question number 37, it is very simple. Unit vector means 0.5 square plus 0.8 square plus c square is equal to 1 square. Got it? So I guess you can solve it from here and get the right answer. Now here the area of this graph represents the work done by the gas. What is area? Half into base into height. So what is height? 6 minus 2, that is 4 into 10 to the power 5 pascals. What is base? This is 7 minus 2, 5 into 10 to the power minus 3. So half into 4 5s are 20 into 10 to the power 2. That is how much it is? 10 to the power 3 joules. So it will be 1000 joules. Okay. 39. See, in a rocket, there are two forces that are acting in the beginning. One is mg downward, another one is thrust force upwards, which will decide the acceleration of the rocket. So you will say, sir, thrust force minus mg is equals to ma. What is thrust force? Mu into v relative minus mg is equals to ma. What is mu? Rate of combustion of fuel. right? 2 kg per second. What is V relative? 800 meter per second, already given in the question, right? Minus mg. M is how much? 50 plus 100, that is 150, right? 150 g. Okay, so it is 150 into A. So it will be how much? 1600 minus 1500, that is 100 upon 150 is equals to A, which will become 2 by 3 meter per second square. Got it? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now question number 40. Let's do question number 40. A boy is sitting on a horizontal platform in the shape of a disc. Okay, okay. So now the disc is rotating and the boy is sitting here. So who is providing the necessary centripetal acceleration to the boy? You will say it is provided by the, that is this omega square r. Who is providing this? It is being provided by the limiting friction. So FL is equals to MA. So that is mu mg is equals to m into omega square r. M and m gets cancelled. Mu will be omega square into r by g. Now very carefully, what is omega? It is 2 pi into number of rotations per minute upon 60. Do you understand? So similarly, mu will become 2 pi n by 60 whole square into radius by g. So when you put it, your exact answer comes out to be, mu is equals to pi square by 18. This is your exact answer that comes out. Okay. Now, for a gas, always remember coefficient of viscosity is directly proportional to temperature for a gas, and for liquids it is inversely proportional to temperature for a liquid. An engine pumps water. Okay, the power of the engine, there is a clear formula, rho a v cube. Now what is rho a? Rho is mass per unit length. So we can say delta m by delta L into v cube. So it is 100 into 2 to the power 3. A perfect gas is heated at constant pressure. Pressure is constant, that means V1 by V2 is equals to T1 by T2. Okay. So V upon V2 is equals to 300 upon 900. So V2 is equals to 3V. Got it? Now 44. This is very simple. 3 by V average will be equal to 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3. Right? And you will get the right answer. Okay, here they are saying that Q is equals to delta U plus W. Right? Now, heat is given out by the gas. Okay? But the gas releases 40 joules minus 40. Work done on the gas is 30. Work done on the gas is 30 means work done by the gas is minus 30. Final potential, final internal energy minus initial is 20. So is minus 10 plus 20 is equals to this. So this is equals to 10 joules. Got it? Very carefully. See, work done by the gas is positive. Work done on the gas is negative. So if they are saying work done on the gas is 30 joules, that means work done by the gas is minus 30 joules. Okay. Now, which of the following? Oh, obviously the molecules stop moving at 0 Kelvin. They stop moving. So kinetic energy is 0. This is also a very simple question. All these questions I have already taught you in the class. Okay, almost all these questions we have discussed in the class, so I don't think that you should be facing any kind of difficulty in solving them. That is delta x. Okay, so you will say, sir, rigidity is equals to F upon A upon delta L by L. Again, what is force? 4 into 10 to the power 4 upon what is area? Area is 64 centimeter square, right? Now delta L by L, what is delta L? 0.1 mm, that means into 0.1 more centimeter. Length is 8 centimeter. What is length? This length 8 centimeter, right? Getting cancelled. So I hope if you solve this, your answer will be this second option, right? Now question number 48. Here what is happening? I'll just draw and explain you. Okay, so this is 10 centimeter, so this is what? 45 centimeter, and this is what? 45 centimeter, and this is what? 10 centimeter of mercury, right? So initially the temperature on both sides is same, initially the pressure on both sides is same, initially the volume on both sides is same, right? Let's say this is area A. So what is volume? V1. So once it is heated, then what happens? It shifts like this. So suppose here it is 45 plus X and it is 45 minus X. So what is V1? 45 plus X into A. Let's say temperature is T1, temperature is T2. And what is V2? 45 minus X into A. See, number of moles on both the sides is same, and the pressure is also same because the mercury has stopped moving. That means the pressure on both the sides is same. So if pressure, number of moles are same, so we can say V1 upon T1 is equals to V2 upon T2. So it is 45 plus X upon 500 Kelvin is equals to 45 minus X upon 300 Kelvin. Do you understand what I'm saying? 227 degrees Celsius is 500 Kelvin, 27 degrees Celsius is 300 Kelvin. So you solve it, your answer is 11.25. So it is 90 by 8, which is 11.25 centimeter, right? Now we know how to get the RMS speed. Very simple. 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square upon 4. This is V average whole square under root gives you VRMS. Got it? Now what is the COP? COP is always heat taken out upon work done. And what is heat taken out? Q1 minus, oh god, Q1 minus W by W. That is 200 minus W upon W is 1 by 3. 600 minus 3W is equals to W. So 600 is equals to 4W. So W is 150 joules. Got it? How it is possible? See, this is T1. Energy given out is Q1. Work is done on the refrigerator. It takes Q2 from the items that are kept inside, and this is outside temperature, outside room. Okay, so we already know that W plus Q2 is equals to Q1. That is how we got this result. Okay, so that is all for today, students. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope my solutions help you to understand these questions very well and helped you to revise these concepts of thermodynamics and collisions. Okay, thanks a lot, students. Keep learning, keep revising infinitely. Tada, bye bye.